All right, guys, cleanup is definitely underway here. Last time you guys saw, we had a lot cleaned up, but we got a lot more done last night after we got home from dinner. I went out, I bought some 409. The Zep bottle works a little bit better. I'm getting a little bit more pressure out of it. This is like a pro grade sprayer. You can really blast some juice with this thing. So we got our rocker arm assemblies cleaned up. Our bolts are all cleaned up. All the assembly goop is off of them. On the those are all set. I already showed you guys the main caps, the straps, the rod assemblies, piston assemblies, all that stuff. Today I cleaned up the oil pan, the timing chain cover. Last night I cleaned the crank, and that is bagged down here. I cleaned it up. I sprayed it down with WD-40 just to keep it nice and coated. Now, one thing I will fully disclose to you guys, I am using a waterborne solution cleaner. So anything that I clean, once I am done, I have to dry it, spray either WD-40, or I like to soak it in transmission fluid and some ATF because it also has detergents and it disperses water a little bit easier than regular oil. So if you guys have anybody who's worked in a body shop knows that you can't use any silicone type sprays or anything like that. It's like the death of a shop. Well, an old school poor man's like penetrant is acetone and transmission fluid. So it works out pretty good. I like using transmission fluid for a lot of things. Usually, like instead of using engine oil on the rings when I assemble my engines, I use a little bit of transmission fluid. I like using transmission fluid because it'll burn off, but it's also got some detergents in it, so it's not bad. I'll use oil where it's needed. I usually will coat down the cylinders with transmission fluid as well. It's a little thinner than oil. It'll burn off quicker, and you run less risk of creating any possible glaze issues or anything like that, where the rings won't seat properly. Or not that it wouldn't or whatever, but it's just always been a habit of mine. I use transmission fluid a lot for a lot of those things. The block is the next and last thing left to do. And then from there, we're going to start measuring stuff. So I'm going to start doing smaller, shorter videos as I'm going to be showing the process of just showing you guys kind of what I do. And it's going to be a lot of bite-sized stuff. So like measuring the crank, we'll measure our main and rod journals. And then I have to put the main caps on the block and measure the vertical measurement of the bearings with them installed, the caps and everything. Obviously, I have to order shim stock, which actually reminds me I have to order that tonight, so I can put the shim stock back on the main caps. Now, a couple of comments. Somebody had asked why I don't use like water. Some tracks don't even allow water. What's going on is a lot of the traction compound has been designed for quick cleanup. So if you guys go to like tracks where they have like the Zamboni cleaner, pretty much all they're using is like scrubbing bubbles and water, and it cleans up the track real well, and it doesn't take away the track bite. Now, if you get like glycol or anything slick like that, forget about it. It's got to be burnt off, peeled off, and if you guys have been at the track, it is a horrible idea. So if you are a racer and you appreciate your time and other people's times, do not go to the track with coolant in your engine. I will fully disclose that I absolutely hate when people do that, because I have seen guys with full-blown race cars and they're still running coolant and something lets go for one reason or another. So yes, I run straight water, but in the winter we'll put coolant in it and whatever. But my buddy JJ mentioned that if I run distilled water through the engine, it's a little bit easier on the corrosion. Now this happened because it dried up. Obviously, this is nothing scalar. It's not heavy. This block was cleaned up real well. This is just like dust. It's rust dust. Look at my finger. I got Cheeto finger out of my fucking engine. But yeah, we got to knock out the cam bearings and install them. I'll explain that, and I got my bottle brushes, and we're going to be using 409 a lot to clean this engine. I really like 409 cleaner for a couple of reasons. I used to clean shop trucks when I was a kid, and them trucks got grimy, and that's what I used to clean the interiors with. They clean real well. It cleans really well. So, and it doesn't, it's not actually like water based, so it's not going to creep into areas where it can create rust or anything. But we're going to definitely be spraying down our our oil passages with it, and our Zep snot bottle will be able to blast through these areas. And then once everything dries up, because 409 dries up actually really nice, it kind of dries like a pre-cleaner. If you guys have ever used pre-cleaner for paint, it's a nice dry film, but not too like dry. It's like a, I don't know what to call it, but it's a good surface cleaner. And we're gonna once we're done, we're gonna run. I like to run a I have a specific magnet for this, and I run a magnet through wherever I can through these passages, just to pick up any burrs or anything that could have gotten in there, because this engine did get cut and sleeved and all that stuff. So, and we just got to make sure that even though the guy at the machine shop cleaned it, he's like, you still have to clean it, and clean. This is the most I've obsessed about cleaning anything. And actually, this engine is going back together cleaner than it probably went together the first time, and it's actually going back cleaner than the engine that's in the car now. Our number 6 headed 350, the good engine. That one, I didn't take the rings off or anything. I just kind of blasted the pistons with brake cleaner, and then blew them off with compressed air, and just coated the skirts and the rings with a little bit of transmission fluid and stuck the fucker in. So we've gotten a lot done. So hopefully towards the end of the week, we're going to start measuring stuff in the next day or two. My idea is to get this block prepped, and it's realistically probably going to be an evening or two of cleaning and re-cleaning and just kind of going over it and making sure that everything is good. So I hope you guys are enjoying following along. I'm going to try to be more in-depth and do more bite-sized videos as I go along here. They'll be a lot shorter. So thanks for watching. Thanks for the comments, guys. Thanks for the feedback. I try to answer as much as I can through these videos, because I can't keep up with the comments. Not that I'm getting blown up or anything, but I try. So share, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram as Copper Cutlass, and we will see you guys around.